Just doing a owner's review of the 22 Tundra. I've had this Tundra since March, so I've had about some months, and just to go over the truck, do an overview of it, how it's been for me. I got about just over 22,000 kilometers, which I think is about, I don't know, maybe this, I don't know how many miles that is off the top of my head. It's over 10,000 miles. I know that much, but here's my truck. I've done some off-roading with it. It's here's a look at the engine, the 3.5 liter and turbocharged V6. And power-wise, it's obviously no complaints when it comes to power and torque. This is the outgoing V8. Fairly quiet engine. That's one thing I missed about my V8 was when you started it. You know, Toyotas like the 4Runner, Tacoma, second gen Tundra, they all have that familiar loud sound when you start them. Sounds like a jet engine starting up. That's one thing I miss. This one does get loud after you, because that manual fan it's like a hybrid. It's also electronically controlled, so they did that so it's not as loud and more efficient. But I do miss that noise, that sound it made. And then here's show you the body of the truck. My two dogs in there, just chilling. Put these KO2s on probably maybe around 5,000 kilometers, just because I got a flat. I was getting flats with the stock tires, which is kind of, I mean, you can get a flat with any tire, but still kind of sucks, because with the other tires, the Michelin LTXs that I had on my 21 Tundra, never got a flat, and I went off-road quite a bit with those two. Here's the exhaust. The underbody of the truck. There's the Tundra. Here's the bed of the truck. Has been getting used. I do like this composite bed so far. No complaints. Do have the bed mat though, because everybody says it's very slick. But I think I could have done without the bed mat, honestly. But who knows? I have this tonneau cover, which is pretty good actually. It's not too hard to take off. I've had to take it off lots for moving stuff and whatever. And you know, in terms of side steps, I do, if you can see there, mine's broken. Just doing some little bit of off-roading and you know, going through a puddle that looked shallow, and suddenly there was a big drop on the passenger side, and I ripped off two of the mounting brackets for this truck here. There's one. There's the other one. It's pretty annoying because when you're going on a gravel road now, it just hits the truck and rattles and rattles. So, but I'm getting that fixed. Getting some new ones to replace them. You know, there's a lesson. Don't get the running boards if you want to go off-roading. But I was doing something that was more than I should have been doing with this truck, you know, just going on some back roads and going hunting isn't so bad for this truck, but I was doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing with a $60,000 truck, so hard lesson. Close the hood, look at it that way. Nice unit. You know, at first I was a little, unsure about the Tundra. I knew I wanted this one. My family liked it more. And I was a little concerned because it was smaller, like, you know, the dimensions inside. I think it's 2.7 inches smaller for leg room from front to back, because I think the front lost about 1.3 inches or something, and the rear lost 1.4, or it's the other way around. But anyways, you can't really notice it in the front seat. A little bit, but not as much. And honestly, when you go in the rear, you don't notice it as much. Here's my truck. There's one thing that I don't like about this new Tundra is that when you turn these off, when you turn these alerts off, the rear bumper, the rear sensor, so if I turn it on, then it disappears from the dash. Now, if I turn it back off, it permanently stays on, which, in my opinion, is unacceptable, needs to be changed. And then it's the same with this other alert here. If I turn that on, if I turn it on, it'll come off. So that's a little frustrating for me. Aside from that, the room in here is pretty good. I'm 5'11", so I'm not like a very big man or anything like that. I'm average size, and I feel like I have plenty of room here in the front and the rear. And yes, this windshield it is smaller, it feels smaller, but at the same time, the vision, like the vision you get out of the front is really good. It's actually not bad. I thought it'd be worse, but you still got really good a really good view in front of you when you're driving. You know, it's not like the hood is blocking everything. And I think it's because the dash, or because the grill of the hood is cut down like that. I do like this new interior, but honestly, like, I do miss the turn knobs from the 21 Tundras. It was just a lot quicker to use than having to go. I mean, this isn't the end of the world. You just tap it down. But the other one, it was just a flick of a switch, basically. You just grab it, turn it, you get the temperature you want. But I do feel like this one's more ergonomic, you know, and that a lot of things aren't an aftersight or something that they forgot to add in, like the heated seats are up front here, whereas on the 21 they're tucked in underneath. And I think that's because they're always trying to catch up to the competition. And yeah, you know, another pro for me was the underseat storage of the truck. That was a big factor for me. There's Odin. And there's 80 sleeping away. But yeah, that was something that I liked, was the underseat storage, which kind of baffled me why the 21 didn't have that. But again, this truck has underseat storage, but doesn't have front tow hooks, which, I mean, it should have front recovery hooks, you know. But here's the Here's the rear seat. There's my leg room. You know, another thing that kind of baffled me too was no power here. Just doesn't really make sense, if you ask me. Good boy, how you doing? You a good boy? Anyways, that's some of the rear room. You know, it doesn't feel. I know on paper it's smaller than the 21, but when you're actually back here, it doesn't feel as small as you'd think. And this seat's is all the way back. I'm pretty sure this front seat. So, like I said, I got quite a bit of room here. Lots of room there, actually. I love this truck. And that was another one of my disappointments with this truck too is, you know, I think they styled this quite a bit from the Tacoma in terms of like this bumper here. If you look at the Tacomas, they have this same styling on the bumper, on the rear bumper, and it looks good, looks really cool, but it would have been nice if they, I don't know, engineered some kind of step in the back there that you could just stick your foot into, or something else, maybe one up here. You know, I get it that they're trying to keep costs low, because I think Toyota does put a lot of effort and money into what they design, and I think that's why they try to keep the costs low in other areas. But I mean, that's just where the competition's going. So I think if Toyota wants to be, you know, I'm not saying they need to copy everything, but that's just a feature that's every truck owner is going to use, right? So they're all going to use the bed at some point. That's why it's there. But yeah, so far, pretty happy with this truck. I've had a few minor things. I've had the recalls. You know, I have the window trim pop out here every now and then, but I've just pushed it back in. My trailer brake's been acting funny. It hasn't been working, so I don't know. I'm gonna get that looked at next. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully that gets fixed. And then I just wanted to show my seat. I don't have any cracks or anything on mine. I've seen that lots for other guys and gals out there. They've had cracks there. You know, for reference, like, I weigh 268 pounds, so I'm not light, but I do use the grab handle though. I use the grab handle and the step, the run board when I go in. So I'm sure that's got to help out a bit. But yeah, this is my review so far of this truck, owner's perspective, coming from a 21. You know, the 21, I'll never, I'm not going to sit here and say this is a better truck. This is a different truck. It's, you know, I think it's well, it is. It's built from the ground up, different from the prior Tundra, but I still think that, you know, some of that Toyota goodness will obviously be here and come through with this truck. I went with this truck because I wanted what was current. I wanted to see the fuel economy and all that, and so far it's been pretty good. You know, the fuel mileage has been better than my 21. Obviously, it's not earth-changing or whatever Toyota called it was going to be, but it is better than the 21 Tundra. And if you're a fan of Toyota, I think you're going to like this Tundra. I haven't had, it's a new truck, so of course it's always going to have its growing pains. And this is my first time owning a first-year model of a new gen truck. But when I feel around, it's sturdy, it's solid. This compartment doesn't really bother me too much. I don't feel like it's excessively loud. Some other guys who own it have complained, but I don't know. That might just be a me thing, that it doesn't really bother me, because it just doesn't. I really don't notice it, and I don't feel like mine's excessively loud when I'm driving. It's not just creaking around all the time. Things that bother me more are like rattles. If I hear rattles in the door, this is sometimes where I feel like, maybe this will be addressed in the future once they've been building this truck more, but there's a little gap there. I don't know if you can see it, but I can push it in. So every time my knee hits that, it's a little click, but I'm pretty sure that's with every truck. I'm 99% sure on my 21 Tundra is the same thing with that. So I'm not too worried about that either. So all in all, I would get this truck again. And if you're watching this and you're thinking about getting this 22 Tundra, I would say go for it. I've had mine for 22,000 kilometers now, and that's I haven't had any of the turbo problems or anything like that, but not saying it won't happen, but I don't think this truck will leave you wrong. And this is the SR5 TRD off-road Crew Max, and just this is your SR5 model, just with the TRD off-road package. So that's why I have the cloth seats, and personally I like it. So I didn't want to spend an extra $10,000 Canadian to jump into a limited just for the soft tech seats and the bigger infotainment screen. Like I did want leather, and I would have liked some kind of moon roof or something like that, but I just didn't want to spend $10,000 more. So I got this for around $59,000, not including the running boards, tonneau cover, or bed mat. That was what they had the truck listed at without that. So I didn't feel like dropping an extra pretty much 10. I think it was about 57,000 Canadian if you wanted, or no, 67, around there. 65, 67 Canadian to go into a limited Crew Max with a TRD off-road. And that just was too much for me at that point. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening, and I'll probably put some more reviews up in the future as time goes by, or any updates as they come. Take care. Bye.